Meet you.
So, good morning, everyone. Um, my name's Roseanne Sofia. I'm the director of sales and the general manager for community magazines, and I just want to thank everyone for inviting me to come speak. I wanted to focus not so much on what community magazine does, but how to use local magazines to maximize your investment, give you some advertising tips, talk about integration. Um, and I just want to thank Sherilyn and Therese for inviting me.
But before you start, I wanted to mention that there is some fun facts about you. I'm just going to mention them briefly and let you take over on them. But you have a love of science and in the medical field, you love to read medical journals, correct?
Yes, I'm a geek.
Yes, and but I love that stuff too. And you're owner of a pizzeria out of Brooklyn. You're from Brooklyn.
Yes, in Brooklyn Heights, New
And you
York.
can talk about that California, where you lived in Silicon Valley. So go ahead and talk about those.
Yes, so I have kind of like an interesting background in the sense that I started in the dot-com world in my career 25 years ago, what some people now reference as the dot-com boom. So I worked, I don't know if I'm dating myself, but I worked for companies like Yahoo, Netscape, Excite. I worked for the big, at that time they were equivalent to the Googles of the world before people knew what the website, what the internet was in general and why they needed, to put money in their budget, their
And
media.
what year was that? What time
Oh my
frame?
God, that was like 2000.
2000. Okay.
Yeah. So I would spend 1 week a month working in California in Silicon Valley in Redwood City, where these companies were. And I'm originally a New Yorker, and I would travel around the country talking to big companies and explaining to them what the internet was and why they need to start thinking about it in their marketing, educating ad agencies and things like that, as well as selling. So it was a lot of fun. It's everything you see in the movies, and I was telling the ladies here how, at that point, I was probably in my late 20s, and there would be like, and I had come from traditional media, ABC, capital cities, where, there's a certain way you do things and you dress a certain way. And I'm walking into Yahoo, and it's my first day. And there was a young man next to me. He had to be 21 years old. And he got up and he rang a bell and he walked out. And I was like, what is that? And he had just made $1 million and quit his job. And this was like something that happens on the daily because they would have these young kids had these stock options, and they would just get rich overnight and walk out of their jobs. And so it was pretty crazy,
Wow.
pretty exciting though. And when I decided to leave New York and come to my beloved home, New Jersey, which I've been here for, I want to say 14 years, um, I wanted to get back to the media business without the commute. So I worked for my background here locally has been with local magazines. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Journal. They closed up. I was with them 10 years. They were the only other local direct mailed community type magazine that existed. And when they closed, I came over to community, and we have developed it into six magazines. But enough about community. I want to talk about how you can really maximize your advertising, some interesting things, and give you some good pointers on how to integrate what you're doing on social media and digitally. And if you're a bigger company, commercials with community-based advertising and why it's important. So my magazine covers are up, as you could see. And the one thing that you can do in a magazine that you can't do on a billboard or a commercial or a digital ad is use color and imagery and text to get a message across and really engage someone on a personal one-to-one level through reading, right? Um, Brand recognition is super important. And one of the questions I often get with branding is, why do I need to brand? And how do I know people are seeing my ad? Um, and, am I wasting money? So I always bring up Budweiser. So I don't know if you watch the Super Bowl, but Budweiser, it's a very old brand. They're in their Super Bowl spots every year like clockwork. Why do they advertise? Why do they spend millions and millions and millions on those two commercials? Um, because there is now mead, THC alcohol, THC seltzer, and 8,000 different types of alcoholic beverages that have come into the market. And if they do not stay out there, people will forget them. So it's to maintain market share and brand awareness. And it's really important. And it's even really important on the local level because there are so many local services and businesses. And if you don't create a unique identity and if you don't constantly stay in front of them, when the need arises, they're not going to think of you. So, brand recognition, the things you can do in a magazine, you can't do on a little digital ad. You can't do on a billboard even. It commands attention and you can also do what we call pull marketing, which is create demand. So an example of that, I like to give examples of people I've worked with and being from the restaurant business. I've worked for some local restaurants who are very established now, but when they first came out, like I will give you an example, Patricia's of Holmesdale, we focused on one photo of a craveable dish and just the name Patricia's of Holmesdale. And that ad and that business did so well just by doing that because people crave and covet what they see every day, like the movie, like Clarice, Silence of the Lambs. It's true. If they're seeing you on social media, if they're seeing you in a magazine, if they're seeing you on a billboard, each of those touch points adds to their recognition of your brand or your service. And that's kind of how it works. And it's really important to integrate what you're doing on other platforms with your ad. I have an example here of Inspo Dental. I just want you to take a look at it. This is a new business. She's about, I think, 2 years old. And as you can see, there's a QR code. So people should list their website. They should list their social media channels. They should put a QR code if they could. It's a very inexpensive thing to do. You go to QR Monkey and you connect it. And as you can see, she's trying to, buy her clothing. We're thinking, oh boy, if I go in there, my teeth are going to look great, right? She's high end, etc. So, this is one example of that. The other part that I like to talk about is, magazines usually come out every month or every other month. We come out every month. So, people are flipping through the pages and it's just about being there. So I had a pizzeria who's very successful in Holmesdale and he was in every month year round. Now, why was he there? He's there because new people are moving in who don't know him. And there's a million other pizzerias. So, when the moms are flipping through the pages and they're thinking, where am I going to order from on Halloween night? He wants to be there. They're going to remember him. So those are just some examples. The other thing about magazines is the tangible appeal. There's the flipping of the pages, the touching, and the fact that you can use this larger space. You have a page, not just to give a visual message, but you can do content marketing. And what do I mean by content marketing? So let's say your business addresses a pain point. I'll give you an example. Closet Tech, they're a closet organizer. Okay. So clutter, you hate the way your closet looks, everything's all over the place. They're seeing it every day, every month, they're flipping through, they're seeing it. When it comes time that they're ready to organize, they're going to think of Closet Tech. If they're wondering what types of materials can be used to build their closet, and Closet Tech has what we call an advertorial where they, which is an article to address a pain point. that people are going to be interested in, whether it, it could be a surgeon who, does lip enhancement, and what are the options, etc. So those are things you can't really do on a lot of other platforms because you don't have the space. Pass along readership. This is something people often don't think about with publications. You're in the magazine, the actual printed magazine. The magazines usually nowadays have an online presence, and some magazines like ours are delivered to kiosks outside of the direct mail distribution. So you will find us at Blue Swan Diner. We just set up a kiosk in Middletown, Mama Diner, Fairhaven Diner. So people walk to these places, they read it, they put it down. That the magazines we distribute can sit there for months in doctors' offices. So you're not just being seen that month. There's whoever picks it up in the next 3 months. So that's something you don't get with digital or television commercials. You pay for every time that message is seen. So that's something that's unique about us. And there's also no wasted ads. Regionally targeted.
She's frozen.
Yeah, she's frozen.
Does anybody have any questions about this ad or anything like that?
It's a beautiful ad.
Yes, it is a beautiful ad. I'm going to show you some examples of advertorials. I'm just going to jump around a little bit because I want you to see what I'm speaking of. Okay, so if you look to the right where it says Clutter No More, this is what we call a content piece. So this is one of the ways you can engage potential customers. So they're talking about, how to maximize storage for a child space, et cetera, et cetera. Another thing that can be done in publications is giving touch points through announcements or events. So as you can see here, this is our Small Business News monthly editorial. New businesses come into the market. We announce them, to the community so you can really integrate yourself into the community, shop local. It is a thing. So this is one of the additional touch points. Then you can do a content piece. You could also, if you have an event calendar, event listings are very powerful as well, whether it be paid or non-paid. And as you can see here, this is Dino Nicoletti cover story. So just imagine, the 20,000 people who are getting this magazine, who's on the cover, right? So there's just so much more you can convey and do and personalize when you're using, a
I
magazine.
see Game Day, Jonathan from Game Day. He's a chamber member and he has an ad. He just passed
Oh
his
yes,
ad.
he's wonderful. We're doing so many fun things with him. He has like these two mascot dogs. So our pet issue is in September and we feature them. So one of the things we do is you're not just buying an ad, you really become integrated into the fabric of the magazine to maximize your ad dollars. And we do that really, really well. And as I'm saying, that is the power of print, that you can do those things. In terms of, why local, just your presence in a local magazine, you're almost being recommended from a trusted local news source. So that will increase the likelihood of engagement and conversion. I don't know how many bazillion people I come across who, do like Clipper and things like that. They're very different, and it's coupons, and it's a lot of these big companies that change corporations, and they say to me, I don't, are you like Clipper? They haven't seen the magazine. They're like, no, we won't want to be there because they're not trustworthy, right? They're not recognizable. So that is an interesting thing that comes up a lot. And that's where we stand with that. So what I see with a lot of effective with a lot of small businesses who are effectively advertising is they are able to integrate the other things they're doing into their print. So it's about a well-rounded approach. We all know people are on social media, you know, they are. Is everybody? No. Do I have time for social media working all day? No. So I come home from work and there's a magazine and I'm having my coffee and I'll flip through it. So, you have to have a balance. You can't just be in magazines, you can't just be on social media, you can't just be on billboards. A billboard, super expensive. You're going to drive by it every day. The same people drive by it every day. Like we're creatures of habit. We take the same road to work. So at some point, it's the law of diminishing returns. So it's about balancing everything you're doing and integrating it in such a way that you're maximizing your spend. So, another interesting thing with social media is a lot of times people will put a digital ad in our email blast. And we will connect it to their social media page. And a lot of people don't realize that with digital ads, you can connect to your social media page. You don't have to go directly to your website. There's a lot of small businesses who don't have the money for, a $50,000 website. So their core messages are coming out on Facebook or Instagram. So that's just like something else to think about. Always ask, can I connect this to my social media page? And I think, you know, just just being in the magazine, you're becoming part of the community. So I think that's really important, as a local business. Here these are just some pictures of some of the guides, that we do. We have specialized content every month. We call them guides, whether it be healthcare, wellness, or Elder Appreciation Month or fitness, those kinds of things, which allow us to do more content pieces for our advertisers. Um, so I want to see if any of you have any questions for me. I did want to share another client that I work with, one of my best multi-year clients, and it's kind of a unique story. So I like to share the good measurable news for branding because, like I said, branding and measurability is the biggest question I get. So I had this glass company, a glass manufacturer. He does shower enclosures. And he was kind of an older guy. And he was doing, his have-tos on Google, having his Google business page and spending, $20,000, $30,000 a month on his Google marketing, right? And he decided to come in the magazines. But he wasn't very sophisticated and he was doing it and he knows the business is coming in, but he wasn't very sophisticated with measurability. And we were, it's funny, I took a look at his digital stats. We did a little analysis because it was time for renewal. And he's like, well, how do I know this is working? I go, well, there's a couple of ways. You're regionally targeting, so you need to look at the addresses of the people who are coming in. He goes, well, how do I know they're not coming from the internet? So we looked, right? And we realized that people weren't searching keywords for him. They weren't searching custom glass or custom mirrors. They were typing in his URL. And his URL was in his branding ad. And he wasn't doing that anywhere else. So we were able to identify that all of his business is coming from the magazines because people are seeing the website, they're going to the website, and we were proving it through his Google reports. So I thought that was very, very interesting, and that was a success story for sure. And we have a lot of, those type of situations. And it is challenging in a digital environment for sure, but there are ways that you can measure what you're doing, as I said.
Roseanne, I have a recommendation, and it's something we're going to do with this month's ad that we're going to do in the
Oh,
magazine.
totally.
Um, we use Bitly to create like branded URLs, short branded URLs, and we also can do a whatchamacallit, a QR code with it. So for this ad, we're going to do a special QR code that's only going to be in your magazine and nowhere else.
Exactly. And that's exactly what this particular Inspo
Yeah.
Dental does. A lot of people do. What you also need to remember is you need to know your audience, right? So my audience is affluent, okay? And they're not going to rip a page out. And I say this, if you're going in Clipper because you want a coupon and you have to be measurable, that's a whole different strategy and you're getting a whole different audience, right? These folks, I hate to say this, but in Rumson, they're not tearing out a page to get a 10% coupon, you know? So couponing in this environment is not effective, which is an interesting fact, right? It may be effective in like a Valpak or something, but you're also not getting the same level of customer. So you have to look at the service that you're providing. You have to look at the environment your ad is in, and then you have to look at who is getting that message, what is their demographic profile. So all of those things, are important. Like we go to both homes and businesses. Some magazines, some direct mail products won't. Also, another thing that's interesting is engagement. So you can have a 3-page magazine and there's really no engagement, or you can have a magazine that has content. They're going to look for the articles, like with us. They're going to look for their kids. They're going to look for their teachers. They're going to look for what's going on politically in their town. They're going to look where they're going out for date night with local restaurants and shows and recommendations on our calendar events. So engagement is really important too. And if you, as an advertiser, look at the cost per home reached using a vehicle like us versus doing your own direct expensive mail piece, you're going to see that we're like 1 cent per home reached versus sometimes it could be $1 per home reached. And I know what I do. I get my postcards, and as I'm walking to my front door, I pass my garbage pail and I dump them when I get the mail before I even go in. So you're paying so much money for these people are paying so much money for these placards, and they're not looking at it on a cost per home basis, and they're not looking at engagement, and those are all really important things. So does anybody have any questions for me or any challenges, or really, I'd love to answer
Roseanne,
anything.
if you can stop sharing this way we could see everybody together.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay. Oh, yes, much better. Jared. Hi, Jared. Oh my gosh, I didn't see all these attendees. Jared, where are you from?
I'm in Freehold.
And you work for
I own Go for Hire, staffing.
staffing. Okay. All right. And Daniel,
Why don't we do this? Because the next part, if does anybody have any questions for Roseanne before we go on to introductions, Dee Dee, and then Lisa.
All right, I just had a question about the Inspo Dental ad. Do you guys create the ads, do the photography and everything, or does the client have to bring a prepared ad?
So no, you do not have to bring a prepared ad. We have a graphic artist on staff and we have writers. So if you did need help with an advertorial and editorial style ad, because that's one way to go versus a graphic visual ad. The photos we can source through Shutterstock, but often business owners, you have a logo, you have to provide a high resolution logo. You tell us what you want in it. We give you our advice on what we think will work. We create it for free. We send it to you. It's kind of a collaborative piece, but we also have writers who will help you write content pieces.
Okay, so that's
Yeah,
all
what
included
company
in.
are you with, DD? I can't
Oh,
see.
I work with Accurate Language Services, translations and interpreting services.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Yes. So, and just know that we do, again, we reach both businesses and homes. And if you want to
Awesome.
reach out, I am happy to help you or answer any more questions.
Thank you.
It's super easy because we've been doing ads for the past couple of months in Community Magazine in two of their sections. And all I do is I give them the wording I want, I give them all the images I want, and they come back with a beautiful ad. I'm like, beautiful, thank you, good
Yeah.
to go.
We
It
are
was
very good at what we
so
do.
easy, so
Yeah,
easy.
it is easy. And also, if you don't have your own photographs, we have sources like Shutterstock, so we can find things for you. You could say, well, I want, this family, or, I want a picture of this. And we can even do in language ads for you. Yeah, which is kind of interesting, right? So, Danielle, do you
Lisa had a question, and then we'll go to Tanya.
oh, okay.
I just want to know how many towns and which towns does the magazine cover?
So we have 6 magazines. If you're in all 6 magazines, you're reaching 62,500 homes and businesses a month via direct mail. Then your ad is also seen in our online magazines. We don't count that distribution. And we have, one of the things I've been doing is I've been setting up kiosks throughout Monmouth County at high traffic diners. So right now we're in Blue Swan Diner, we're in Middletown Diner, we're in Fairhaven Diner, we're trying to get into a Freehold Diner. So we dump magazines in a kiosk, and when people call us and say, can you mail it to me? Because we get so much of that, we can't afford to mail it. So we're just making these arrangements and directing them to these businesses. A lot of these businesses advertise with us. So that's one of the ways we give back. We
Right.
put a kiosk there and we direct people to their business, which could also be something we do with you as well when your facility opens. So let's review our towns. So zone 1 is all of Coates Neck and Homedale. Each of my zones go to between 10,000 and 11,000 and change each. In that particular zone, we cover the entire market because they meet our demographic profile. Zone 2 is our Two Rivers area. That's Shrewsbury, Rumson, Fairhaven, Little Silver, and Oceanport. We do focus on the higher end demographics in each of these areas. So we take cuts of each based on the income level. Zone 3 is our Jersey Shore zone. So it goes from Seabright to Belmar. So it's Seabright, Monmouth Beach, Long Branch, Deal, Allenhurst, Interlaken, Asbury Park, Bradley Beach, and Belmar. Zone 4 is all of Ocean Township.
What was that?
Zone 4 is all of Ocean Township, not county, township. There's close to 11,000. So that includes Oakhurst, Wayside, and Wanamassa as well in that group. Zone 5 is our Middletown area. So it's North and South Middletown, the highest income homes, Lincroft, all of Lincroft, Highlands, Atlantic Highlands, and part of Red Bank. And then we have our Freehold magazine, which is all of Freehold Township and the borough of Freehold. So that includes Ironbridge, Elton, Adelphia, Meadowbrook, Stillwell Corner, Green Springs, Dutch Lane, Canterbury, and the most expensive areas of town. We also have an email blast. So how do we drive traffic to our website? So we have 6,600 email subscribers. This isn't push, this is subscribe. And we send them our covers, and there's some ads in there every month and our top stories. And that has like a 44% open rate, which is incredible. If you put an ad in there, which a lot of times, if you're advertising in print, we do a lot of bonuses. So I could bonus you an ad in there. You can link it to your social media, or you can link it to your website. But we drive traffic to our website with that email blast. We also do it through our magazines. We also do it through the marketing that we do in general for the magazine, through events and things like that. So you get a lot more coverage than are in these numbers, is my point.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anybody have any challenges they want me to tackle?
Danielle, did you have a question? Because you're on mute if you're talking. We can't
Well,
hear you.
I don't think so. Did I put something up that said I had a
no,
question?
no, I just wanted to ask you. I see that you do events.
Yes.
Something you may want to know about is every January we have our wedding and special event guide, which focuses on events. Um, so if wanted to find out about that, I'm happy to help you. And then Jared, in March we have a B2B guide, professional services guide. Um, I'm not sure because we haven't dug further, but I'm not sure if you're trying to reach businesses or individuals. But that may be of interest to you as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mainly try to reach the businesses, so that could be good.
Right. And then Steve, I just want to let you know, we have a home services guide that goes out every year in April.
Mhm.
Another thing, guys, I know people don't have big budgets. We just came up with a new ad product to get people who don't have a big budget, and people who maybe don't need a lot of ad space. It's called Here's My Card. So it's an eighth of a page. So for a business like Steve's Handyman, it would be perfect. It's an eighth of a page, and we put it in all 6 magazines for $650. So it may be a good way to test us. Think about 62,500 people will get that magazine into their homes every month. So, also if you're trying to personally brand, that may be a good way to start as well.
So
When
the
you say
eighth
the
of a
six,
page would be you can have a photo there or anything. The eighth of a page.
An eighth of a page, now you will be limited in space. So think of a business card. So it really works well for realtors,
Right.
for, people who do very specific things, inspections, um, you know, but it does get you into 6 magazines.
Okay.
and
So
that's the price for the month for only 1 month?
yes, but think about it. So divide if you and this is like what I like to teach people how media works. So if you take 650 and you divide it by how many people you're reaching, 62,500, you're paying 1 cent per home reached. Think about it that way, right? You're getting yourself in front of so many people for such a low cost. Whereas to do that like through direct mail, that could be $2 a home, right? A billboard, so it's really, you got to look at what you're spending and how you're spending it and what the cost per home reached would be. You can also, you don't have to be in 6 magazines. You could do a business card size ad in any magazine you choose. If you feel that maybe our Two Rivers, our Rumson area would best suit you, think about where your customers come from, or where you'd like them to come from, and pick a zone. Or what you can do, another strategy for people who have a limited budget that I use all the time is we put them in a different magazine each month. So think about individual eyeballs, right? So do you want to like heavy hit Home Dell and Cold Snack over the head because you're a realtor and this is your focus area? Or are you just trying to get the word out about your business so you want to get in front of as many people as possible, individuals? So if you're going to do that, then maybe you do zone 1, which is called Second Home Dell, the first month. The second month, you go into the Two Rivers area, right? You're reaching a whole new audience every month, and you rotate that way. And an eighth of a page ad, that's like $175 a month. So it's a way to get yourself out there. Another thing that I can offer is if you are having an event, paid or unpaid, that is open to the public, you can call me and I'll list it in my calendar of events. If we have room and my editor approves it, I do that all the time. If you have a new business, you can come to me and I've done this to prove the power of our magazine, and it's been quite successful. So BizBeat, we do 100-word announcement. We put a photo in. We often include that in a new advertiser package because we want to give you as much exposure as possible. But I've done it here and there to show clients that people are reading us, and they have called me back in turn every time and done ad campaigns because people say, "Oh, I saw you," and they're like, "Oh, they saw me," or they come in and, "How did you know about us?" "Oh, I saw you." So, those are the things, that really work in tandem with your ad campaign. So we try to give a lot of exposure. Another thing we do is we have a holiday gift guide. So if you have products or services and you're advertising with us for at least 6 months, we will integrate them into our gift guide. Now, okay, you say big deal. Well, it is a big deal because you may be advertising in just one zone, spending $450 a month for a quarter-page ad, and now you're in all 6 magazines, right? And now 63,000 people are going to see the product recommendations and where to get them. So it's these other touch points that really bring the reach and the additional exposure, and that's what we're good at. Does anybody have any other questions? I'm happy. Listen, on the last page, I think Therese gave you the presentation. You can call me anytime. I appreciate referrals, of course. And I know I've already had meetings with Lisa, but if you have anyone in the in market or who wants to reach these markets, and you can refer to me, I would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Roseanne. It's always such a great information. I did put the presentation in the chat if you want to copy it. And the contact information for Roseanne is the last slide in the presentation, so you can reach out to her. So thank you so much. It was really great. And now,
No, thank you so much for this opportunity. I hope you found some value in the things I shared.
Mhm.
Some of them seem really simple, but you'd be surprised people forget,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so I hope I brought some value to all of you. It was nice to meet you all, and I hope to see you at the events and the meetings, and
Yes,
please reach
we're
out to
not
me.
done yet. We're gonna go around the room and let people do their 30-second commercial.
Perfect.
And also I do have a question for you.
Yes.
So you have different covers for the 6 different zones. Is the rest
Yeah.
of the magazine the same?
No.
It's not the same.
No,
Okay.
so again, I didn't want it to be a promotion all about community magazine, so I kind of didn't get into that, but I would love to answer that question. So we have real editorial. We have a monthly health article, we have a monthly parenting article, we always have a monthly food article, best places to eat a burger, best cheesesteaks. We have our small business news, Bisbee, every month. And then we have a huge focus on pets. So we have our pet celebs, people email, and we publish pictures of all kinds of pets, where to take where is it pet friendly, calendar of events for places to go with your pet as a family. We do articles on local news, sports. We have a teacher of the month, a first responder of the month. And that goes throughout all 6 magazines. And then we pepper in local content for each zone, right? Because that's what really keeps us relevant. That's why we're still in business. As we all know, the big general magazines and papers, they're out of business. And that's why we are thriving, because everybody wants to read the local news. They want to see what's going on. It's their community. They're personally vested, right? To a degree. Their kids are in there, their schools are in there. Their neighbors are in there, their local businesses are in there. So that is why we have thrived, and that is why we are still here.
I had a feeling it was local to the towns, and I'm like, that's a big undertaking every month.
Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. In fact, I'm working. I oversee a lot of things and planning, and we're working on our editorial lineup for the next 12 months. And we're going to have some really good articles in there. I'm really trying to bring us into the forefront with, nootropics, like artificial intelligence, addressing some like new cutting edge things. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. I love the magazine. It's definitely
Thank
beautiful,
you.
beautifully done. And
Thank you.
I appreciate you talking to us about it today.
No
So,
problem.
yeah. All right. So, with that, let's go around the room and do our introductions. We'll go to Steve, then Jared, and then Lisa.
Good morning. I get to go first. Hoo-hoo. Steve Rosen, job's done right. I'm a handyman and a home inspector. So what that means is that as a handyman, I get to see lots of things done wrong. And as a home inspector, I can tell you all those things and fix those things. So the question is, when was the last time your home was inspected by anybody? I see it as a safety thing. There's lots of things that can go wrong in your house after it's been inspected, after you buy it. Big ones like the roof. When was the last time it was looked at by a professional who wasn't trying to sell you a roof? When was the last time your deck was looked at by a professional? When was the last time your foundation was looked at? Things can go wrong, especially with all these storms going on. All kinds of things can happen you wouldn't expect, and then you don't know about it, and all of a sudden your $1,000 repair just became a $20,000 repair. It's worth a couple $100 to have me come and take a look and see what's going on. Steve Rosen, job's done right.
Thank you, Steve.
I have a question, Steve. Do you do exterior work as well, like
Yes.
siding and rails and issues with that?
The only thing I don't do is plumbing and
Oh,
painting as far as the handyman side.
yeah.
The inspection side, you'd have to check my webpage because it's just too extensive. I do
Okay.
so much on that.
Okay, thank you. Nice to meet you.
Fine.
All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Jared. Like I mentioned before, I'm the owner of Go for Hire here in Freehold. I focus mainly on staffing and for any kind of business. So for anybody who's looking to hire, it could be one person, it could be an entire team, and it could be any type of job. I'm the one who does that. I will source candidates. I interview extensively before picking out a right fit. And once I find one or two really strong individuals, I get them sent in for a final interview with the employer, the company. I also do the reference checks. I do the background checks as well, make sure that they're good. And then we get them to work, full employee of the company, and hopefully it all works out. In addition, I do help out job seekers with their resumes and interview skills, but mainly what we focus on is the staffing, but we do have those extra services for those who need it. Located right here in Freehold, but can work with anybody across the state and beyond. Been working with some businesses in other states as well, so that's really nice. And I'll put my info in the chat. Feel free to reach out anytime. And it's nice to see a lot of familiar faces and a couple new ones. Thank you.
Thanks, Jared. Lisa?
Hi, I'm Lisa Patton. I'm the Director of Operations at Dill Dinkers Pickleball in Freehold. We're opening up a 9 indoor court facility next to Lavotti's in the Mounts Corner Shopping Center. Under construction right now, at a little bit of a standstill because of SBA, but we're hoping to open up hopefully October. It may end up beginning of November. So looking to get out there in the community, spread the joy of pickleball. So if anybody's interested in just, socializing, moving around a little bit, come and see us. We're going to have a free week during our first week of opening. So just for people to come out and see what it's all about. So I did have one question to everybody. We're looking to do a mailer, like a card mailing. If anybody in the Freehold area has had any success with a company or someone doing a mailer, if someone could let me know, that would be great. We're looking at that in the next month or two to do. So, but hope to see you out there, possibly free week, just to see what it's all about. Thank you.
And as I said at the beginning of the meeting, we are looking to do a chamber night once the
Definitely.
grand opening excitement dies down and we can get in there.
Definitely, and we're also open to having a chamber meeting. We have a party room, a corporate events room that we're going to be having too. So we're
Nice.
open to hosting as well.
Very nice. Look forward to seeing it all.
Thank you.
All right, Dee Dee, Danielle, and then Gail.
Good morning, everybody. It's nice to be back on track with attending events. Um, I'm Dee Dee Montanaro. I am Translation Project Coordinator for Accurate Language Services. We are a professional language services provider. We translate documents. We provide interpreting services, and we also provide American Sign Language interpreting services in person or virtual. We can translate anything from your grandmother's recipe book to birth certificates to employee manuals, anything that needs to be provided to a non-English speaking population. We're based in Asbury Park and we service the tri-state area. So it's nice to see everybody.
Thanks, Dee Dee.
Thank you.
Hi, sorry. I am driving my son to school to camp right now, so I apologize. Danielle Arno, Artworks Events. I host all different types of art events, paint parties, all different types of projects, age groups, corporate, private, birthdays, really for any occasion in addition to fundraisers. And sorry, he's literally getting out of the car now. And I'd love to partner with anybody who's interested on an event or host anything for you. So Danielle Arno, Artworks Events. Sorry for this was like absolutely probably the most difficult time for my position to pop up. So I apologize. And it's nice to be able to get to come to the meeting again, even though I'm a little in two places at once. So
Thanks,
I
Danielle.
I look forward to seeing everybody soon.
All right. Thanks, Danielle.
Good morning, everyone. I am Gail Bonus. I am the administrative specialist with the Chamber. This month is a year. So I have almost the end of the month will be exactly 1 year. Sometimes it feels a lot longer, and I'm not saying that in a bad way at all, because I've met so many great people, developed so many relationships, and it truly is a great community to be a part of. And I look forward to these events and meeting everyone. And should I speak about the upcoming events or?
Yeah, just to highlight a couple
Yep,
of them.
yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just do a quick glance. So the rest of the month, every Friday we have our perk breakfast. As most of you know, the first Friday of the month is at the Keyport IHOP. The rest of the Fridays are at the Manalapan Diner right on Route 9. So we have this month of 5 Fridays. So the rest of this month will be at the Manalapan Diner, 7:45 to 9. And we're usually there a little later. We have a nice back room there, and they don't not kick us out. I know they're always looking for some speakers in the upcoming months. So if you can get over there, that would be great. We also have coming up, let me just do a quick glance. Our Young Professionals Zoom meeting, very similar to this one, will be on August 19th. That one is from 8:30 to 9:30. So that is in 2 weeks on Tuesday, in 2 weeks, 8:30 to 9:30. And the speaker actually this month is somebody on our Zoom today. It's Danielle. Right, Danielle? I know she's probably driving. We have the next day, August 20th, we are going to have a lunch and learn. And that will be a creative change counseling, which is in Wall. And the topic is self-care, I believe. And that's from 12 to 1:30. So that just went up live this week. So you can sign up for that online, 12 to 1:30. And that's a little bit of a smaller crowd, probably 15 or so, 15, 20 people. And so if you're interested in that, you could sign up for more information. The last Tuesday of the month is always Chambercast. That is at Bell Works in Homedale. from 8:30 to 10:30. Always interesting, relevant, emotional, just everything, topics. And do we know the topic yet this month? I don't think it's out
I
yet.
don't know. I have to reach out to Gina to see if
Okay.
she has,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, because it's still early in the month. So that's 8:30 to 10:30, which this month it's August 26th. And
So we will not be having a First Friday perk at IHOP in September because that's Labor Day weekend. So we will not be doing the First Friday.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you want to talk about the
Yep.
big event coming up in
Yep.
September.
Next
So
major
thank
event.
you, and it's nice seeing everybody again.
Yay. And I can't believe you've been with us almost a year either. Yeah.
Again, sometimes it seems like
Great.
yesterday, sometimes it seems like forever, and I'm
Mhm.
looking forward to even engaging more with everyone. So
So our next major event is our Caring with Karaoke event at the Wonder Bar in Asbury Park. It's the last Thursday in September, and registration is open, and it's run by our Young Professionals group. And they chose a nonprofit to be the beneficiary of the fundraising we're going to do during the event. And the nonprofit is the Girl Scouts of the Jersey Shore. So we're partnering with them, and it's always a fun night. And I got to tell you, the karaoke singers get very competitive. And Dee Dee, you need to be there. Come on, Dee
It's
Dee.
a Thursday. Thursdays
Oh,
are
I forgot. She has a
eh,
standing. Yeah.
if I can grab a night off, I'll try. Let me see what I can do because I
Oh,
would
you
love to
gotta
be
be.
there.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun. Can Laura take over for you that night?
Well, it's Andy, so
Oh.
I'll see. I
Yeah.
might be able, I might be able to get to take the night off. I'll try.
So Dee Dee is
Gigi,
a
do you have a great voice?
oh my God, she's a professional singer.
Oh,
oh,
wow.
we need to hear you.
Oh,
Multi-talented.
well, Therese knows where to find me.
So Dee Dee's a very good friend of mine. We go back a couple of decades.
Yeah,
And she started back up her singing career with oh my God,
acoustic.
acoustic guitar duo called Strawberry Pie. Her and her friend Laura, who's the lead female singer for the Moroccan Sheep Herders. We got so much talent around here. It's
So,
amazing.
so just sidebar, if I may double dip, Strawberry
Yes.
Pie will be playing at the Sandbox tomorrow in the
Oh.
Highlands, from
Sandbox.
6 to 9.
Oh, well, now I know where my husband will be because he
Oh
follows
yeah,
them. He follows
I have to follow you. Oh, wow.
them.
thank you.
Nice. No, of course, of course. Yeah, it's very beautiful. So, so who's playing in the band tomorrow night?
Tomorrow it's Strawberry Pie, so it's Laura, myself, and Andy, and potentially Mike Caruso, our bass player.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not.
Okay. The
So
Sandbox is
it's
a
at
great
least a
venue.
trio.
Yeah, the trio.
Yeah. Oh,
And
so
the
fun. So
Sandbox is a
much fun.
great venue, so that's a
Yeah.
good night out. Cool. All right. All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
Gigi,
thank you. Yeah.
you should send me a list of where you're playing and when, and maybe I can get it to my editor.
I'll do
Nice.
that. I'll do that. I
Nice.
have your contact information. I copied everything from the chat. So
Yeah, the
thank
thing
you.
is, the trick is I have to get it like 60 days before or 45
Oh,
days. Do you know what I mean? So if it's in
yeah.
September, I have to get it August 1st.
Okay. So 2 months. So that would be October then.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm gonna thank you.
Cool.
You're welcome.
Love this. So Caring with Karaoke is an amazing event and it's fun. And we do a gift auction and a 50-50 to help raise funds for the charity. And we get local people to donate food and we do a buffet on the bar. And it's just a fun night out and it's a good cause. So yeah, so that's the next big event. And then the next big event after that is Athena, our Athena Leadership Awards. Oh, that's where Roseanne and I met last year, actually.
That's right.
That's right. You were at my table, Roseanne.
Yes, I was. I was. It was a great day. It was a great day. I'm hoping to attend this year. I have to work on that.
Okay, that would be really, really good. So it's the
Yeah.
first Friday in November, and what we have chosen our finalists. It's the two categories, the Athena Leadership Awards and the Athena Young Professional Leadership Awards. So we will be doing a video recording announcing the finalists in the next couple of weeks, and we'll get the video out by the end of the month. And out of the finalists, we pick one in each category to be the recipient, and we announce it live at the event. So we celebrate all the finalists because they're all amazing humans doing amazing work. And then, like the Academy Awards, we announce the recipients live. So, and there's one in each category. So it's also a great event, and I love it. We just had our Beacon Awards, which was amazing. We had them last week, where we honored 10 people or organizations in the community. And oh my gosh, you want to go to a feel-good event. Just listening to these nonprofits and what they do in the community is amazing. So I love the work the chamber does. And yes, thank you for saying that we are very active. Gail and I and Connor, the staff people, know how busy we are. On a slow month, there's at least 7 events because we have standard things going on every month. On a busy month, we've had 12 and 13 events. It's insane, but we do it.
We said the summer was going to be slow, and yet this month we have 9.
So we appreciate everybody attending the events because it's all for the members and the future members, so we can network and get to know each other and learn as we did today. So I appreciate everybody being here.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. It was nice to meet you all.
Yay. All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you, Roseanne. Thank you, guys.
All right. Have a great day.
You
Have a
Thanks.
great day.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Sorry I was in and out. I finally parked. It was nice. It was nice seeing everybody. I
Same
feel like
here.
I barely get to come to anything these days.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Hold on.